The Pagan Wood. 16 years ago. The Pagan Wood was eerie and silent that evening. But the darkened quiet was not of the kind Garrett enjoyed. This was an uncomfortable, sinking sensation that left him both wary and a little chilled. But he had no other choice than to remain, and Viktoria knew that.
"So, Garrett, it's been a while since we last spoke,"
she stated as they walked along a grassy knoll overlooking a verdant meadow, rich with life.
I'm not one for small talk, Viktoria. Aren't we supposed to be getting rid of Garrett? Maybe we could start by finding out what he's actually planning.
The thief narrowed his eyes, glaring at her.
"Oh, but surely even the master thief must desire a night off, once and again. Besides, what harm ever came from a little light conversation?"
she purred.
Plenty. Socializing isn't part of my line of work.
"Ah, but you're not working now, are you?"
The wood nymph continued to toy her sultry tone through his mind. Garrett stopped walking and turned to face her. In truth, he had no idea why this creature was even attempting to befriend him. Certainly it was true that they now shared a common goal, thwarting a dangerous foe who would spell both of their fates, if left unchecked, to go about his madness. But did Viktoria really think that he would be her companion? Did she truly believe him to be so dense? Garrett continued to glower at her, his right eye word and bust, as if fueled by its own fury. This was the bitch who had betrayed him, tricked him, torn out his eye, and left him for dead. What did she expect him to be like, around her? Before he could reply, she spoke again.
"I know what's going through your thoughts. Your expression speaks volumes, Garrett,"
she chided. Garrett gave her a deep frown.
All the more reason to avoid socializing.
"So I see."
Viktoria chuckled, twirling a strand of her long black hair around one of her nails. Her grin widened when she noticed that Garrett was still staring at her, most likely trying to seem imposing. Or perhaps his weak man-fool mind was at last weakening to her mysterious wild charms. Whatever the case, it was amusing to behold. The feisty nymph decided to up the ante.
"You must be a very successful breeder."
A curious silence passed between the two, until Garrett finally realized what she had just implied. His face involuntarily flushed a deep shade of red, before he was able to regain his composure.
We, man-fools, have another name for it. Not that creatures of pagan whimsy would give a damn about our human customs.
Viktoria gave him a suggestive wink, causing the thief to recoil again.
You may just be surprised."
Knowing that she now held him within her clutches, she continued to press his emotions further.
"So, are you?"
Am I what?
"Good at this unnamed act of passion?"
Garrett felt his face flush even brighter than before. He turned and glared at his tormentor. He allowed his tone to mellow before actually speaking to her.
And you're asking this why?
Viktoria took another step towards her quarry. Her green lips parted, revealing a mischievous and playful smile. She was going to enjoy this.
Because
Why?
Well, if you're even half as talented at that as you are at theft, then I find myself quite intrigued."
The thief shook his head. Enough was enough.
Viktoria, let's get one thing straight. This whole buddy thing, it's getting annoying. I said that I'd assist you, not become your new best friend.
He snapped. The wood nymph's eyes began to glisten.
My. That's good to know. Because I have no desire in becoming merely your friend.
Garrett tensed as he suddenly felt something creeping up his body. Scrambling to look downwards, he noticed a thin vine of leafy ivy, gently caressing his torso and upper back. Instantly, he brushed the flora away.
That's enough,
he growled. Viktoria growled right back. Her insides were burning, and her eyes began to glow a dark shade of crimson. How dare he? At the last moment, however, she relaxed again. Instead, she emitted her jovial, yet seductive laughter.
Ooh, so touchy.
Seems to me that you're the touchy one,
Garrett grumbled.
Maybe a little. But truly, can you blame me?
I already blame everything else on you. Doesn't seem like much of a stretch.
Oh come now, Garrett. You honestly can't still be upset about your eye, now can you? After all, at least, you made it out alive. We lost our god.
Garrett's demeanor became very uneasy. He abruptly turned away from her. The evening had gone rotten enough, without Viktoria having to bring that up. Sensing his discomfort, Viktoria's tone began to shift. She turned to survey the expanse of trees behind her. There was still hope left in her world, and Garrett was her chance to secure such hope. To protect that which she held most dear.
I am sorry, Master Thief. I shan't discuss it further.
The silence returned, but with a more uneasy atmosphere than before. Garrett stared at her. If there was ever a sentiment that he would never have expected to leave her lips, it was an apology.
Good,
he retorted with a cold snarl. The two allies resumed their midnight walk, entering a clearing in the heart of the forest. Viktoria halted and looked up towards the heavens. The sky was crowded with billions of stars, highlighted by the silver swirls of distant galaxies. Garrett felt inclined to follow her eyes, but only craned his neck slightly before stopping himself.
Garrett.
Viktoria resumed her wanderings. No answer.
Being stubborn again, I see,
she chimed.
Very well. Can I ask you a question then?
That would be pointless.
Are you so certain of everything, Master Thief?
Fine, Viktoria. Get it over with.
Why do you refrain from opening yourself, Garrett? Why do you remain so completely devoid from any interaction with your people? Is the fact that you are a thief the only thing that stops you from doing otherwise?
I'm a criminal, Viktoria. Or has that information just not sunken in yet? I steal from my people for a living. You'd think that'd be reason enough as to why I can't be a social butterfly.
Garrett turned angrily to her.
And what is with this sudden interest in me? I frankly don't care about anyone else. So why should anyone, including you, take any interest in me? I never asked anything about you. The only reason why I'm even talking to you now is because my neck just so happens to be on the same line as yours.
You're only angry because you're alone. You man-fools tend to travel in packs, after all. You crave social bonds. It's in your nature.
Viktoria responded calmly.
I'm not a pack animal, Viktoria, and I don't crave anything. Certainly nothing that you can offer.
The thief huffed.
Oh, are you so certain of that?
The nymph grinned.
Yes.
Viktoria smirked, and slowly allowed her bark-like flesh to regain its human guise. Green and brown wavy pigment was replaced by smooth skin of milky ivory. Garrett gasped, and averted his eyes.
Come now, Garrett. No need to be so shy. You have seen me like this once before,
she teased. The thief shouted.
That was a long time ago. Before I knew what you really were. Before you and Constantine.
Garrett looked up and was taken aback by her figure. Even in his most scandalous of dreams, he had never seen such a lovely body before.
But I thought we were partners now.
No longer in control of his mind or his urges, the thief managed a single sentence.
You are very, very beautiful, Viktoria.
He whispered. The nymph's grin began to soften.
So, do I have your attention now?
You could say that.
You'll be a good boy now, and treat me nicer?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Her lustful eyes sparkled.
Come hither, my good thief.